Hi Libra, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com, and this is your monthly forecast for February 2016. Librans, we begin the month with Mars that is highlighting a part of your chart that speaks about money, and it also speaks about self-worth. This is a time where you're going to be seeking a lot more security in your life, Libras, and you're going to be wanting to be financially sound, and you are insistent on working hard to be generating that money. You may take on whether it's a second job, a second gig, and also it speaks about some sort of a money-making entrepreneurial venture during this time. Conversely, you can also be spending more money during this time, and it can be that you may strongly defend your beliefs, identifying with them more. This entire focus on money, self-worth, your ability to generate money also has Saturn present in it, Librans, for the next 2.5 years. And this aspect again is reminding you of your own ability to generate money rather than worrying about the lack or the presence of it and your sense of self-worth as far as money is concerned. It's a great time to be evaluating your values, Libras, and it's also a great time to be making sure that they fit in your life right now. You would want more stability and are less likely to be taking any big risks. For that, you're willing to be you're willing to keep your nose on the grindstone, working on things that you have already begun. We have a Venus and Pluto conjunct that is there in your house of home. It's a house of your mother, and it's a house of Cancer as well, Libra. This too has been lit up for you for almost the entire 2015, and fortunately or unfortunately, Librans, a trend carries on for you. Now, Libra, the Pluto transit, it's starting from the bottom of your horoscope, which we call as Nadar, and it is going up to the top of the chart, that is the midheaven, that is your career scope. So what it is doing is that Pluto, when it does this, it's going to be affecting both your home and it's affecting your career space as well. And both of them seem to be moving. So it speaks about of almost a physical move. It also speaks about either a break as far as there is concerned of relationship with a parent. It also speaks about power struggles that could be experienced both at home and at work as well. Now the interesting thing over here is that with Pluto it can go both ways. At times it can build things to a certain extent that they reach a place where they're about to break, and then it bridges it back. And for some of you this could be happening. It can be that Pluto is also known as the great fixer. So anything, say for example, anything in the house which is underneath the plumbing, so and so, that needs to get fixed is also ruled by Pluto. So in relationships with you specifically, whether it's your work which could have got broken up, gets fixed right now. It's a relationship with a sibling or with a parent that has almost reached a point which has got broken up, also gets repaired during this time. Ensure that, however, that you are not sort of, if some of you are buying houses, ensure that you really don't get in for a picture perfect house, that the house requires some work. Ideally try and pick up a house in which that you're building it, but wherein that even if that house requires some amount of work, so there's some plumbing or some refixing or some amount of work that needs to get done, it will benefit you a lot. However, try and because Pluto rules everything that that lurks beneath the surface, try and again not look at the perfect real estate piece of it during this time. Pluto is an extremely slow moving planet, and it roughly takes about 240 years to complete its cycle. So some of us may not experience this Plutonian and Venus transit at all. And the entire message for you, Librans, for this particular aspect is that try not to hold on to parts of yourself that are being challenged as of now. And this specifically has to do with your value system. It has to do with your conditioning of how it is that you've been brought up and what it is that you've learned so far. So Pluto is basically going to be making you review. Not just review, it's going to be throwing up everything that you may have learned so far about life, your values, your conditioning, and it's going to be questioning it for you. Also, your own love relationships, you will find during this time that they can sort of, they can almost have a kind of a compulsive quality about you. You may just feel quite obsessed with somebody, you may just feel quite compulsive. There would be just this, either there is this, a sense of being consumed with somebody, your time, your thoughts, your energy, And this is a time where, because Pluto is again everything below and under the surface, you're going to be digging, or you're going to be wanting an intimacy and intensity which is far more deeper, and nothing else is going to be hence be satisfying for you. Now all these things as well are going to be coming up for inspection for you. So all that is going to be that, is it valid? What you feel, is it true? Will it last? So on and so forth. Venus is going to be squaring Uranus, and this is again happening in a part of your chart that speaks about marriage, and it speaks about your business partnerships as well. And Uranus, as you know, is a planet of being erratic. So you may find during this time that partners on whom you have a lot of faith, and there seems to be a lot of dependability as well, they may just behave in an extremely erratic manner, and you may feel that it's extremely hard to rely on a partner. And you could also find during this time that relationships that have really done, or they've run their due course, or they've become lifeless, you will refuse to sort of carry on, or even indulge, or even sort of let them be there in your life. And it can be that during this time there can be a break in a relationship as well suddenly, and at the similar time it speaks about a new relationship beginning as well for some of you. And you could find that there is some amount of a limitation that you're finding, and in an intimate relationship during this time, and you could experience either an erratic or rebellious behavior in a close or an intimate partnership, and you may just be the relationship could literally keep you on toes, Librans, where you could be turning around and be saying that, do I really know this person, and where is this coming from, and what is this all about? We have a new moon, and it's a fantastic new moon in your house of love, romance, creativity and children, and it's speaking about a lot of creative self-expression for you, Librans. It's speaking about, and because it's new moon, it's speaking about new romantic inclinations. We're talking about a new romance over here, Librans, and this is a time wherein that you are going to be especially aware of your need for approval and feedback from others. And there's just this entire energy about it's an extremely passionate time, so you could be deriving pleasures from not just your own creative impact on the others, but also that you are going to be seeking it in others. So you can expect maybe going to a lot of watching lot of plays, going and visiting beautiful museums, or generally buying of beautiful things as well. It's generally a very feel-good month as well for you. We have Sun that is conjuncting Neptune around the 20th, and this is once in a year transit, and this is lighting up a part of your chart that speaks about your day-to-day chores, your health and your diet. And the only downsides with this is that during this time you are going to be hypersensitive to medication, so try and sort of stay away from any kind of a recreational drug. Try and stay away from any form of medication or chemicals during this time, because they could just have an adverse reaction to you. Also try and stay away from stress. It can play on your nerves to quite a bit, and there can be some amount of confusion as far as your work is concerned, because Neptune being out there can be just a lot of haziness over there, and you may not really have the clear picture. So the trick over here is to try and let the Neptunian energy sort of subside, wait till about the transit gets over, and then take a decision as to what is it that you want to do. And you may just find yourself behaving in an extremely impractical way, and you can be quite vulnerable to deception from others. So try and sort of try and be a little careful, try and be a little aware during this entire Neptunian phase. And also for some of you, you may undergo a crisis of identity, and it can, however, the good thing is you will have a far more refined outlook about yourself by the time the transit gets over. So really nothing to worry about. It's just a time of illusions and confusions, Libra, so just enjoy the ride while it is there. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Librans. I'll see you again next month, and thank you so much for watching.